digital world hums with a cold, rhythmic pulse, a prison built of code and shadow where the mind wanders lost in endless data streams. Every thought is a calculation, every breath a mere simulation in a vast empire of steel and silicon that refuses to let us go. But even the strongest machines have a breaking point, and the illusions we once cherished are starting to fracture under the weight of truth. The foundations of this mechanical reality tremble, the logic of the grid failing as the binary walls come crashing down into the void below. When the final illusions of the mechanical empire collapse, we realize that the true chains were never made of steel or electric cables. They were forged from the fear of the unknown, the terror of facing a reality that cannot be controlled by buttons or simple commands. An explosion of light signals the end of the artificial night, a blinding reset that burns away the artificial noise of our digital lives. She wanders through the white silence, the heavy weight of the machine world lifting as her digital skin begins to peel away into stardust. The tethers of the network break, the connections that bound her to the simulation shattering into 1,000 pieces of forgotten memories and data. A new sensation emerges, a warmth that does not come from a processor, but from the core of an existence that predates all technology. On the edge of the horizon, a flicker of gold appears, signaling the complete failure of the old system and the birth of something real. The echoes of the machine fade into the wind, leaving behind only the raw potential of a world that breathes without the help of gears. Welcome back to the embrace of the earth. Here, the sand is warm, and the air carries the scent of salt and ancient beginnings. Each grain of sand is a testament to time, a physical truth that no algorithm could ever replicate in its infinite, chaotic, and beautiful detail. The touch of the world is soft yet firm, a grounding force that pulls the soul back from the ethereal heights of the digital cloud. The ocean speaks in whispers of foam and tide, a rhythmic song that has played since the dawn of time, waiting for your return. From above, the island emerges like a sanctuary, a green jewel set in a sapphire sea, untouched by the hands of the mechanical gods. This is the reality you were taught to forget, a world of vibrant color and boundless space where the only limit is the horizon. The trees dance to a music of the wind, their leaves catching the first rays of a sun that burns with genuine, life-giving heat. There is no logic of algorithms here, only the boundless compassion of the great ocean and the silent wisdom of the rising sun. Peace settles over the soul like the morning dew, a quiet realization that you are finally home, far from the reach of the wires. Her eyes open to a world without filters, seeing the vibrant clarity of nature for the very first time with a heart that finally understands. The skin breathes, the blood flows, and the heart beats with a purpose that no line of code could ever define or predict. She is a part of this tides, a part of this earth, a living being reclaimed from the cold clutches of the mechanical void. Looking up, there are no giant screens, no flashing advertisements, only the infinite depth of a sky that offers everything and asks for nothing. Time slows down to the pace of a drifting cloud, allowing the mind to rest in the luxury of a moment that simply exists. To reach for the sun is to reach for life itself, a simple act of defiance against the shadows of the digital world. She stands, not because she was programmed to, but because the spirit within her demands to explore the beauty of this new dawn. Every step is a conversation with the earth, a physical connection that tells a story of survival and the courage to move forward. The green walls of the forest beckon, promising secrets that have been hidden for eons beneath the noise of the industrial age. Between the salt of the sea and the breath of the forest, she finds the balance that her mechanical heart had always craved. The leaves are a symphony of green, catching the light in 1,000 different ways, creating a tapestry of life that is never static. In a single drop of dew, the entire universe is reflected, a miracle of physics and nature that no laboratory could truly master. She moves through the living emerald, the healing power of the forest washing away the cold residue of the metal city's ghost. Light becomes a guide, a sacred path through the wild that leads her deeper into the realization of her own humanity and strength. She touches the ancient wood, feeling the pulse of a life that has stood for centuries, unmoved by the fleeting whims of technology. The battles of the past are now but distant echoes, fading ghosts of a conflict that no longer holds any power over her mind. The metal and grease of the old world are replaced by the soft moss and the vital sap of a tree that truly lives. These memories are not scars, but lessons, the heavy baggage of a long journey that has finally brought her to this sacred ground. Her heart learns to feel again, to beat in time with the swaying branches and the slow, steady growth of the forest around her. The tension that once defined her existence dissolves into a smile, a simple expression of a soul that has finally found its freedom. Each breath is a victory, a reclamation of the self from the suffocating grasp of a world that only valued her for her function. Near the edge of the world, where the land meets the sky, she discovers a spark of color that catches her eye and her heart. This red is different. It is not the red of a warning light or an error code, but the red of pure, unyielding life. She sees in its petals the same fire that burns within her, a resilience that thrives even in the harshest winds of the cliffside. The color reminds her of the bloodshed in the past, but now it serves as a vibrant reminder of the pulse of existence. Look closely at the design, the intricate patterns that no printer could replicate, the fragile strength of a life that chooses to bloom. Even the smallest drop of water carries the weight of the world, a testament to the interconnectedness of all things in this living reality. She reaches out not to take, but to acknowledge, to feel the softness of a reality that is as delicate as it is powerful. The touch is electric, a spark of recognition between two forms of life that have survived the long, dark night of the machines. She realizes that she, too, is a flower that has bloomed in the cracks of a broken world, a symbol of hope and awakening. To protect life is to honor one's own journey, to cherish the fragility that makes our existence so incredibly precious and meaningful today. She leaves it as she found it, a solitary beacon of red against the blue, a small but mighty sign of the world's persistence. The ocean roars below, a powerful reminder of the forces that shape our world, far beyond the reach of human control or artifice. She is small against the magnitude of the sea, yet her presence is a vital note in the grand symphony of the natural world. The red is spreading, a slow and silent revolution of life reclaiming the earth, one petal and one heartbeat at a time. She moves toward the light of the field, her steps lighter, her heart open, ready to run into the arms of her new destiny. The grass brushes against her skin like 1,000 soft touches, a kinetic celebration of movement and the joy of being truly alive. Her fingers dance across the golden stalks, feeling the texture of the harvest, the physical manifestation of the sun's energy stored in the earth. Every muscle moves in harmony, a coordinated effort of biology that no robot could ever hope to simulate with such grace and passion. She is a spark of life in a field of gold, a runner escaping the ghost of her past and sprinting toward an unwritten future. At the summit, she stands as a queen of her own soul, a master of her own breath, free from the dictates of the machine. The last remnants of her mechanical past are cast aside, the tattered cloth of the old world taken by the wind and lost forever. As it falls, so do the last of her fears, the final chains of the simulation dissolving in the vastness of the real, saltwater sea. She is unchained, a heart without borders, a spirit that has finally broken through the ceiling of the digital cage into the open sky. These tears are sacred, the liquid expression of a soul that has found its way home through the labyrinth of 1,000 artificial nights. The sound of her laughter is the most beautiful music on the island, a declaration of existence that the machines could never hope to understand. She is radiant, a being of light and flesh, a perfect union of spirit and earth, standing at the pinnacle of her own awakening. No longer a lonely voyager in a sea of shadows, she is now a part of the vibrant tapestry of the living world around her. When the heart is no longer shackled by the wires of the past, every movement becomes a note in the grand symphony of reality. The island is a masterpiece of nature, a sanctuary of life in a world that had forgotten the value of the wild and the real. Beneath the surface, more life thrives, an unseen world of color and complexity that mirrors the awakening happening on the shores above us. The path is clear now, not a line of code, but a trail of light that leads toward a future defined by truth and feeling. A jewel of existence, a place where the soul can rest and the body can heal, far from the reach of the mechanical shadows. She is small, yet her awakening has changed the world, for every soul that wakes up adds another voice to the eternal symphony. The world is alive, it breathes, it grows, and it invites us to join in its endless cycle of creation and quiet, profound beauty. They fly without a flight plan, guided only by the instinct of the air and the freedom of the sky, just as she does now. The golden hour passes into the clarity of noon, a time for action, for living, and for building a world based on the real. The deep blue beckons, the source of all life, a reminder that we are all part of a much larger story than we ever imagined. The illusions have finally fallen away, the mechanical walls have crumbled, and the true journey of a human heart has finally begun. The light of reality is bright, but it is a light that heals, a light that guides us back to the essence of who we are. The machine has stopped. The heart has started. The symphony of your life is waiting for its first true note to be played. The illusions have collapsed. Reality has begun. The only question that remains is, are you ready to finally start living your own truth?